Hey everyone! In today's video, we're taking a deep dive into the life of Keenen Ivory Wayans, the mastermind behind an entire comedic dynasty, and exploring what has really been happening behind the scenes in his life, his career, and his unexpected retreat from Hollywood that left fans endlessly speculating. Because while most people remember Keenen as the razor-sharp writer, director, and creator who changed TV forever within living color, few realize just how turbulent, visionary, and downright shocking the journey has been for the man who launched the careers of Jim Carrey, Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Lopez, and his entire family tree of comedy legends. And when you trace the story from the beginning, from his childhood in a cramped New York apartment where 10 kids shared the same tiny space, to his early struggles as a young stand-up comic sleeping on couches, you begin to understand why Keenen's rise was never just about fame, but about building something bigger, something generational, something his community had never seen before. And that mission became clear in the late 1980s when he began crafting what would become the cultural earthquake known as In Living Color, a show Fox executives didn't understand, advertisers feared, and network censors tried repeatedly to silence because its sketches, raw, political, edgy, and unapologetically black, challenged everything mainstream television had become, and Keenen, stubborn and brilliant, fought tooth and nail to keep his creative vision intact. And yes, he won. America had never seen anything like it, and suddenly the Wayans family was a household name. But behind the success, Keenen was already burning out, locked in exhausting battles with the network, fighting constant pressure to tone the show down, and juggling the responsibility of being the family's guiding force, directing their movies, writing their scripts, negotiating their deals, until the pressure reached a breaking point and Keenen walked away from the show at its peak. A decision fans still don't fully understand, but it was actually the first sign of a pattern that would define the rest of his life, creating something groundbreaking, elevating everyone around him, and then quietly stepping back before the world even realized he was gone. And after In Living Color, he repeated that pattern with the Wayans brothers. Don't Be a Menace, Scary Movie, and more. Projects that made hundreds of millions of dollars, introduced new stars, and shaped early 2000s comedy. Yet, Keenen seemed almost uninterested in staying in the spotlight himself. And while studios begged for sequels and demanded more content, Keenen's priorities were shifting, especially after the collapse of his marriage and the emotional weight of raising a large family while Hollywood politics grew more toxic. And as the years went on, he quietly faded from the public eye, leaving people to wonder, what happened? Why did one of the most influential comedic minds of the last 40 years vanish? And here's where things take an unexpected turn, because recent revelations from family members, industry insiders, and Keenen himself paint a picture far more compelling than any rumor. Keenen didn't disappear because he was washed up, blacklisted, or retired. He stepped away because he grew deeply frustrated with an industry that continued watering down the kind of bold, envelope-pushing comedy he wanted to create. And for once, he decided to prioritize peace, health, and long-term legacy over the grind of Hollywood. And today, at 66, Keenen is living a life few superstars ever get. Quiet, intentional, financially independent, deeply involved in his children's lives, and still writing behind closed doors, developing new projects entirely on his own terms, and planning what some insiders claim will be a Wayans family renaissance, spearheaded by Keenen himself. And what will truly stun fans is that multiple sources say he's been secretly mentoring a new generation of Wayans talent, nieces, nephews, even grandchildren, preparing them for a major comeback that aims to revive the unapologetically raw comedic style he pioneered in the early 90s. And while the internet has been buzzing with questions, is he sick? Is he done? Did Hollywood abandon him? The truth is that Keenen Ivory Wayans didn't vanish because he failed. He vanished because he succeeded so completely that he earned the rarest privilege of all, the freedom to choose when, where, and how he wants to return. And now, after years of silence, he's quietly positioning himself for a comeback that could reshape comedy yet again, reminding people why he remains one of the most important, underrated, and influential creators of his generation. Never went away even when he did. And as fans brace for what's coming, one thing is clear: Keenen Ivory Wayans is not done, not forgotten, and not fading. He's simply been preparing for a new chapter, and when it arrives, it'll shock everyone who thought they had already seen his final act. Thanks for watching.